Abkhazia, a land of breathtaking beauty and complex history, lies on the eastern coast of the Black Sea, bordered by Russia to the north and Georgia to the east. Its strategic location has made it a crossroads of cultures, empires, and civilizations throughout history. The narrative of Abkhazia begins with ancient Greek colonization in the 6th century BC, when explorers and settlers from Miletus established trading posts along its shores. Notable among these were Gienos, Dioscurias, and the picturesque Great Place of Pines, marking the start of Abkhazia's long history of interaction with the outside world. The Roman and Byzantine empires left their mark on Abkhazia, introducing Christianity and integrating the region into their vast networks of trade and governance. The Byzantine period in particular was crucial for the spread of Christianity in Abkhazia, deeply influencing its culture and social structures. In the late 8th century, as Byzantine influence waned, Prince Leon II of Abkhazia seized the opportunity to assert his independence. A direct descendant and namesake of the previous Leon and grandson of the Khazar king, he proclaimed himself King of the Abkhazians with the support of the Khazars. This marked the beginning of a prosperous era. From 780 to 978, the Kingdom of Abkhazia thrived, extending its dominion across much of what is today western Georgia. During this period, Greek served as the lingua franca, particularly for religious texts, until the 10th century, when Georgian emerged as the sole alternative. By the end of the 10th century, strategic marriages united Abkhazia with Georgian-speaking regions, forming a medieval kingdom under a sovereign titled King of the Abkhazians and Georgians. However, this unity was relatively brief in historical terms. The Mongol invasions in the early 13th century, during King George IV's reign, contributed to the decline of this empire. The subsequent feudal turmoil and Mongol incursions fragmented the kingdom into various kingdoms and princedoms, including Abkhazia. In 1404, cleric Johannes de Galonifontibus documented the region's fragmented state. He noted Abkhazia's distinct language and hilly terrain, highlighting its separation from the neighboring territories of Mingrelia and Georgia, each with its own language. This illustrated the clear division of states in the Western Caucasus. The Mongol invasions and later the influence of the Ottoman Empire brought challenges and changes to Abkhazia. Despite these pressures, Abkhazia managed to retain a degree of autonomy, navigating the complexities of existing alongside these mighty empires. The Russian Empire's annexation in the 19th century marked a turning point, leading to a substantial part of the Abkhazian population being forced into exile in the Ottoman Empire. The most significant uprisings in Abkhazia occurred between 1821 and 1877, culminating in substantial migrations. In 1864 alone, 25,000 Abkhazians were expelled, leaving their lands from Sochi to the Bzip River deserted. The 1866 uprising led to another 20,000 leaving, emptying regions like the Khador Gorge entirely. The 1877 revolt resulted in 30,000 to 40,000 Abkhazians fleeing, leaving central Abkhazia from the Gumista to Kodor rivers, devoid of Abkhazian settlements. Following the significant depopulation due to the Russian-Caucasian War, which concluded in 1864, and the Russo-Turkish War of 1877–78, a pivotal question emerged regarding who should inhabit these now empty lands. Yakob Gogebashvili, a distinguished Georgian intellectual of the era, addressed this in his 1877 article for Tiflisky Vestnik, titled, "Who Should Be Settled in Abkhazia?" He advocated for the Mingrelians, neighbors to the Abkhazians, as the most suitable colonizers, a role they indeed came to fulfill. However, the most significant influx of Kartvelians, primarily Mingrelians, into Abkhazia did not occur until the late 1930s, marking a critical shift in the region's demographic landscape.
За последние несколько лет в Гаграх, Гудаутах и Очемчирах созданы благоустроенные колхозные поселки. Из Амбралаури на новые земли переехал с семьей колхозник Чаладзе. Ну как, сынок, хорошо?
In 1917 to 1918, Abkhazia was incorporated into the mountain republic of the Northern Caucasus. On the 9th of February 1918, it signed a treaty with the Georgian National Congress, acknowledging Abkhazia's borders from the Ingur to Mazimta, later Psu rivers. Despite this agreement, the Georgian Democratic Republic, established in May 1918 and supported by Germany, annexed Abkhazia in June 1918, using military force under General Mazniashvili. By March 1921, the Bolsheviks, having ousted Georgia's Menshevik government, recognized the independence of the Abkhazian Soviet Socialist Republic. Yet, under pressure from Stalin and Georgian Bolsheviks, Abkhazia entered a union treaty with Georgia the same year. Despite this, Abkhazia joined the Transcaucasian Federation as an equal partner, participating in the formation of the USSR in 1922 as a sovereign state. On the 19th of February 1931, Stalin downgraded Abkhazia to an autonomous republic within Georgia. This act, unprecedented in the Soviet Union, was sharply critiqued by Abkhazia's first president, Vladislav Ardzinba. At the first Congress of People's Deputies of the USSR in 1989, Ardzinba stated, "Abkhazia is arguably the only republic whose political status was downgraded rather than upgraded by Stalin," highlighting the unique and contentious nature of this political restructuring.
В 1921 году договорная Абхазия была преобразована теперь уже в автономную республику в составе Грузинской ССР. Таким образом, Абхазия чуть ли не единственная республика, политический статус которой изменялся по воле Сталина не по восходящей, а по нисходящей.
Even during this time, Abkhazia was not part of an independent Georgia, but of the USSR's administrative structure. This era ushered in the Stalin-Beria terror from 1937 to 1953, marked by enforced Georgianization, mass relocations of Georgians into Abkhazia, persecution of intellectuals, and the closure of Abkhaz schools. The Abkhaz language was transferred to the Georgian script, and education in Abkhaz was replaced by instruction in Georgian. These actions compelled Abkhazians to assimilate into Georgian educational institutions. The 20th century brought further turmoil with the collapse of the Soviet Union, leading to Abkhazia's contentious bid for independence. In 1992, amidst Georgia's disavowal of Soviet legal frameworks, Abkhazia asserted its sovereignty and proposed a federal pact to address the resulting legal vacuum.
ასეთი სურვილი ეხლაც არ არის აფხაზეთში. მათ ჰქონდათ რომ საქართველოს ფარგლებში მათი პოლიტიკური და ასე რომ ვთქვათ სხვა როლი უფრო გაზრდილიყო. ესე იგი, ერთი ვარიანტი რომ საქართველოს გამხდარიყო ფედერაცია. ქართული და აფხაზური ფედერაცია. მეორე ვარიანტი აფხაზეთი ყოფილიყო რესპუბლიკა საქართველოს შემადგენლობაში. ისევე როგორც იმ დროს რუსეთის ყველა ავტონომიური რესპუბლიკა და ავტონომიური ოლქი გახდა რესპუბლიკა რუსეთის ფედერაციის შემადგენლობაში. მესამე ვარიანტი რომ თვითონ აფხაზეთში შექმნილიყო ორპალატიანი პარლამენტი, რითიც აფხაზებს კანონიერად შეეძლებოდათ
Just 20 days after Georgia's admission to the United Nations, Georgian forces entered Abkhazia, initiating hostilities in its southeastern regions and capital. A full-scale war lasted for 13 months. The conflict remains unresolved to this day. By the 30th of September 1993, with support from the Confederation of Mountain Peoples of the Caucasus, Abkhazian forces expelled the Georgian military presence. Following the nullification of Soviet laws, Abkhazia temporarily reinstated its 1925 constitution until a 1994 referendum affirmed a new constitution underscoring its sovereignty, unrecognized by Georgia and the international community. Subsequent elections in 1996 and a constitutional amendment in 1999 further solidified its claim to independence, though it remained unacknowledged. Economic sanctions by Russia, Georgia, and CIS countries significantly hampered Abkhazia's development until Russia recognized Abkhazia's and South Ossetia's independence on the 26th of August, 2008. Nicaragua, Venezuela, Nauru, and Syria also recognized their sovereignty. Despite these challenges, Abkhazia has continued to advocate for international recognition, reaffirming its declaration of independence made in 1999. Nevertheless, Abkhazia's rich cultural heritage, with its unique language, traditions, and religious practices, continues to thrive. The majority Orthodox Christian population coexists with Sunni Muslims and other religious groups, reflecting the region's diversity. Abkhazians hold their traditions, including music, dance, and equestrian sports, in high regard, celebrating their identity through vibrant cultural expressions. Abkhazia's economy, heavily impacted by political isolation, relies on agriculture, tourism, and support from Russia. On the 6th of March 2008, the lifting of economic sanctions by Russia marked a significant development, offering new opportunities for growth and integration into the wider region. This historical journey of Abkhazia, from ancient colonization to modern-day challenges and achievements, underscores its resilience and the rich tapestry of its cultural and political legacy. As it stands today, Abkhazia continues to navigate the complexities of statehood and identity, embodying the enduring spirit of its people and the beauty of its land.